Welcome everyone to the Tethys Shipyards. I am Takeshi Yamato, the Yardmaster, joining our host, the Housecoat Gamer.
Yo.
Today we are taking a look at the Vahrdona-Class.
The Turian cruiser. I personally love this thing. Its general design is just utilitarian yet graceful. It also has variable geometry with its wings. They can swing forward a little bit, and then they can swing back.
Yeah.
Regardless, this ship is very much like the SR2 in terms of general configuration. Kind of why I like the SR2 better than the 1. It's more balanced out that way. Regardless, ships like this fought during the First Contact War, and were generally useful in any situation. While they were not as powerful as the much larger dreadnoughts, or as fast and flexible as the frigates, they were still pretty decent at doing their jobs, and after the Systems Alliance showcased just how much of a pain in the ass they could be with their fighters, the Turians decided to experiment a little bit by trying to incorporate more hangar bays into their ships. Obviously, because Palaven doesn't exactly have massive oceans, and Turians tend to drown in anything higher than they are.
Yeah.
Their experience with carrier warfare is limited. In fact, there's no species in the galaxy that has more experience with carrier warfare than humanity. That certainly helps the fact that Earth is 70% water.
Yep.
Regardless of these shortcomings, the Turians are remarkably adaptable when it comes to their warfighting capacity, and some of these ships have even been retrofit with the new Phoenix cannon. That said, this is a relatively rare refit, and really only started coming into vogue just before the Reaper invasion.
Yeah. I'll put it in the weapons list with a note saying very rare, only available around the time of Reaper invasion.
That said, it is a relatively easy weapon to retrofit onto these things, because the Turians don't like don't like throwing anything away. They prefer making sure their stuff lasts. Kind of like a certain other nation on Earth, they're just less stupid about it.
Yeah.
Regardless of their lack of capabilities in the, specialization department, they are still incredibly good at doing many things. When a Turian cruiser shows up, it's generally a good sign for council races. Unless you're a pirate, in which case, prepare to have the hammer dropped on you, just not as extremely as certain other ships.
Yeah.
So, let's stat this thing.
Well, first up, before we stat it, let's do what we did with the frigate and just cover what mission profiles this thing can be used for. I'll just go over the list again. Battlecruiser. That's going to be more likely as a profile.
It is bigger.
Civilian merchant marines, still no.
Not exactly likely, but certainly possible with a demilitarized example.
Yeah. Colony support.
Definitely, just not as common as frigates.
Yep. Crisis and emergency response.
Better suited for it, still not perfect.
Yep. Still, though, on the entertainment/pleasure ship, that's probably more a civilian-only thing.
Yeah.
And espionage intelligence, probably not quite as likely.
Yeah, this thing's a little big for that.
Yeah. Flagship.
Again, can serve as a flagship for small flotillas and frigate squadrons.
Yep. Logistical quartermaster.
Definitely pretty good at that, though probably relatively relatively rare compared to the frigates. After all, these are ships of the line.
Yeah. Multi-role. Explorer, multi-role battlecruiser, multi-role vessel, we'll just say.
Generally.
Pathfinder and reconnaissance operations.
Probably not. Too big for that.
Yeah. The basic...
You need something blown up? Is it blown? Or maybe it's blown. Whatever.
Anyway, the description for Pathfinder and reconnaissance operations is long-range missions often employ the most advanced stellar cartography and astrometric facilities, allowing them to chart and navigate unknown regions of space effectively. These vessels are relied upon for extended exploratory missions, intelligence-gathering military operations, and risky Pathfinder expedition operations into the unknown.
Well, these are akin to AdMech exploratory ships.
So it could work.
They would just be a bit of a waste.
Yeah. Patrol.
Definitely. Though more as a patrol leader than an actual patrol ship.
Yeah. Reserve fleet.
Definitely. After all, sometimes ships are surplus to requirements, but you can't afford to throw them away.
Yep.
So mothball them and refit them at a later date. When the
Scientific.
budget gets better.
Yeah. Yeah. Scientific and survey operations.
Most likely, especially if they're looking at a big rip in space-time, and why is there a giant metal cube shooting at us?
Yeah.
That is
Strategic.
not... I'm never going to stop doing that, just as a warning.
Yep. Because, well, that is a potential crossover option for any universe. The Borg showing up.
The Borg is always an option.
Yup.
Moving along.
Yeah, moving along. Strategic and diplomatic operations.
Better suited for it.
Tactical operations. Oh, yeah. Technical testbed.
Ships like these can be refit with them, and cruisers are often used as technical testbeds. So, more than likely.
Yep. And lastly, warship. Duh.
Yeah.
Alright. Now, the stats for this thing are mostly the same as the Varican from our previous vid.
You know, I've been thinking about opening up a bar. Or maybe a club.
Just with one extra point in structure, and scale has gone up to 5. So, what was the... So, just to... I forgot to put in the second descriptor trait for the Varican, so what was that again? Turian higher... generalist. Okay.
Because good enough is good enough.
Yeah. And for the Vahrdona, Comm 6, Computer 6, Engine 7, Sensor 6, Structure 8, Weapons 8. Department modifiers, 1 point in security, 2 points in engineering. Scale 5 starship, as I said. Mass accelerators, disruptor torpedoes, and the Thanix cannon, very rare, only available around the time of the Reaper invasion. Talents are improved hull integrity and improved reaction control system. And again, Guardian Array, Mass Accelerator versus Nav Deflector. And descriptor trait for the Vahrdona, Turian Hierarchy Starship.
The most common cruiser in the galaxy.
Most common cruiser in the galaxy.
Because while they are numerous, they're very good. They're just not great.
Yeah.
But, like I said, good enough is good enough.
Yep.
And when you have the largest military in the galaxy, well, good enough is good enough.
Yep. One more ship to cover, and then we're done with the Turians, basically.
Then we're going to have to roll a die on which race we do next. Because I would like to finish Mass Effect before we do some of the more fun stuff. Bye-bye.